after months and months and months and repotting and sweating and checking and just nerve-wracking, nail-biting, it might be time for you to harden off your tomatoes and other summer vegetables right here on the Minisode of the Backyard Gardens podcast.
To have a good harvest, one must plant good seeds and must also use the right kind of fertilizer. The carrots have grown large and firm. How good they will taste.
Welcome to the Backyard Gardens podcast, where we talk about all things gardening and give the information out for you to be successful in your garden, whether it's your first or your last. We are your hosts, Ben, the backyard gardener, and
Batavia, the front yard gardener.
one in the country,
One in the city.
Now get ready as we dig deep into this wonderful world of gardening as we learn to grow and grow for change. A lot of y'all asked, how can you help support the Backyard Gardens podcast? Well, we have been busy and we have created a t-shirt line just for the gardener.
To visit our shop, go to the link in the show notes and check out the t-shirts and other goodies we have.
Now, these are super special t-shirts designed just for the gardener, so enjoy. Thank you for supporting the Backyard Gardens podcast, and we'll see you guys after the harvest. What do you think? You think you're good? You think you can do it?
I know I can do it. I believe in myself. I believe in all of you.
I believe in everybody, yes. So hardening off your, let's say nightshades.
Yeah. Let's go eggplants.
We can't tell them what nightshades are. They got to go listen to that episode where we told them, broke them down.
No, I'd like to go with eggplants.
Now, eggplants, tomatoes, and peppers. So I think those, in my mind, are the biggest summer crops that you would harden off, don't you?
Yeah. And
your frost tender flowers, too.
Agreed. And
let's not leave those behind.
For these, and again, for some of you all, you may have already done this, right, based on your temperatures. But this is probably about right on schedule for me. Tomato plants, you can, pick up some more, or you can even start some more inside. But peppers, those are some long boys. I mean, they take their time. Eggplants too. So we're talking about hardening off with caution.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we want is you want it, I'm going to say roughly 40 degrees at night. You start hardening them off.
Consistently 40 degrees-ish, right? And the ish is that's up, not down, right?
Yeah, it can't just be like, oh, it's going to get 40 degrees tonight, we're good. It needs to be consistent, okay? And even then, you're starting, and you're not leaving them out all night for, let's say, 3, 4, 5 days, roughly. In this case, it is in your best interest to take a long time for the temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is important because a lot of places really do have consistent weather at this time. But a couple of years ago, I was still not even I was still getting 50-degree highs for temperatures a month from now when it comes to when this is going to air. So keep that in mind. I think that you have a lot growing in your garden, right? If we're lucky. And you have time to take time when it comes to hardening off these veggies. So if you're listening this week and you're not at that point where it's been consistently and will be consistently 40 degrees or higher at night, then, go ahead and continue to listen and save some of this knowledge for a week from now, 2 weeks from now,
Yeah. I mean, it's important because, these things will not take a frost. Will not. You can't fool it. You can't trick it. It's not possible. And then some of them don't even like to get a chill, okay? And there is no technical term for chill.
So are you saying that there's no faking the frost?
Huh?
I mean, there used to be a term like "don't fake the funk." I was trying to fold that in there, but all right, let's move on.
Yeah, you lost me on that one.
Someone got it.
That did not land. Yeah. Somebody got it, but I did not. So
I only need one.
Sorry,
I only need one.
That's the damn truth, and that's a good joke. But if you're hardening stuff off and it is going to get cold, and let's say you've gotten to the point where they're staying out all night, I'm going to go ahead and tell you it is okay to bring them in for the night. And it is okay to bring them in for a day or two. It is okay. It will be fine.
Yeah.
So
this is a good space where we're lucky if we're just hardening them off and not planting them if there's some scare of frost, right? Like if they're planted, the measures you're going to take are going to be different, right? But when it comes to if you're hardening them off, right, you're in a good spot because you can spring into action.
Yeah.
You got that, right? You picked that up, right?
I got it.
Come on.
I got it. I'm smelling what you're stepping in. I got it. Yeah, because, and it's, it's important, like when you put them out, you want to water them. Okay. But you also need to remember, like, they're going to get shocked when they get out there and they're going to stop growing. And so, once you get to the point of hardening them off and they're completely staying outside, they're not even thinking about coming inside. That's when we want to take them and still leave them outside and let them kind of do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Let them dry out a little bit so they can get used to looking for water. Because right now, let's face it, y'all got fungus gnats flying around your seed starting station. You know what I'm saying? You probably got a little dish with dish soap in it, collecting some fungus gnats. Batavia's over here twitching out on everybody. And
it's a standard now, yeah.
It is what it is. But so what I'm saying is they're used to having water on demand.
Yeah.
And now is your job to starve them out a little bit.
Yeah. The key here
and get them ready.
That plants can be resilient. So we're past the conversation around frost, right? Because if we're talking about frost or near frost, then you're done, son, right? Somebody else picked that up. That's like 90s hip hop or something. So at this point, you're basically moving from the inside where things were warm and cozy and consistent to the outside where we have these different elements. And if we're a week or two in, they're starting to adjust to their new area, their new outside. And we know plants are resilient, right? So even once you bring them out there, you may see some limp leaves, right? Don't worry. In most cases, you'll be fine, right? This is all a part of that initial adjustment, brand new apartment, trying to see what's happening here, what the upstairs neighbors are doing.
You know what? That's a good analogy. Think about it when you first move and you go to sleep in that new place for the first time, and it's all weird and it smells funky.
What's that
and
sound? Yeah.
You hear that sound and you're like, damn, I had my bed at my last place is comfortable, but now it's like, damn. And then you take it and you're laying in it and you got a new bed and everything. And it's like, damn, this is odd. That's how your plants are. They're not sleeping right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe if you were good, you had a fan blowing on them. So they were, but now they're outside. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, a 15-mile-an-hour wind is a hell of a lot different than a little gentle breeze from a fan.
That's significant.
Which is why before I harden mine off, I turn my fans on high for 3 days beforehand.
Oh, okay. There's a tip.
Tip.
Yeah, we wanted to give tips in these minisodes too, right? I forgot all about that.
You know what? I like the way you sat back when you said that. So, and last year I was guilty of it, and I had a little bit of a pandemic shock. So I wanted to get things out in the ground as early as possible, which totally backfired. Yeah. But it was too cold. Yeah. And things went into shock, and some things got stunted. So, it's you got to be very careful.
So for me, I'm normally bringing things from the store, right, where they've been in the elements, because normally my first plantings are happening in June. So no issue with that. Last year I started things indoors, right? So I was not quite here, but pretty close to here when I started hardening things off. But the weather was much warmer and much more consistent. Remember, the goal here this year for me is to do things earlier, but that comes at a cost, if you will, right? So earlier means it's not the end of May like it normally is for me, right? And so the weather is, again, a little bit more volatile is the word that I've been looking for like all of these episodes. So these are cautionary tales, and we're just telling you in different ways kind of the things to look out for. The end goal here is you want a healthy plant in the ground, and the things you're doing now are going to dictate whether that happens. So,
right. That's the damn truth.
Yeah.
Preach it.
Yeah. God damn it. When are we going to get this bell right?
You know what? It's because you're not standing on your milk crate preaching it.
This is true. I wonder if there's some like irrigation system. Like, you know how like this automatic dripping of the bale, like all throughout the episode, it's just a little bit of bale. All right, we can talk about that later.
I would probably freak out if that happened, but yeah, there's probably. At least you don't have one of those that go or something, you know. I hate those.
If we were doing this 15 years ago, we would have totally had what is it? That is easy. Remember those buttons?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Oh, I hate those things. So yeah, and this goes for flowers. Now, I typically tend to believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that flowers are a little bit more resilient than your vegetables.
I don't know why I believe it too, but they can take a licking and keep on ticking, it seems. Or it could just be that I am, it's like the vegetables are your first kid. You're so uber cautious. The flowers are like your second and third kid. It's like, all right, you know, go get some gas in your diaper, toddler. You'll be fine. But yeah, flowers can bounce back, I believe. Because even think about in the summer, you've seen some flowers that would go through a whole drought, look dead, and guess what's going to happen? They'll spring back.
They come right back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So. And then they bloom even harder.
Yeah. You stress them
but
a bit.
But they're doing that for a reason.
Well, and you always talk about that. That's a part of your motto, right? You know, don't be afraid to kind of push the limit a little bit. I hate the thought and the concept of stressing the plant intentionally. I believe you're right, but I just don't like it.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if we got stressed out and we just bolted, just like a flower, like a plant?
That may be a thing I should be picking up on. I should probably try that.
Yeah. You should, yeah. Check out the link for the t-shirt. It's right there, baby. But it's, it's in all seriousness, it's, and I think that it's easier for the plant as it goes through the whole season. And then it comes into the fall and it gets cooler and cooler and cooler. It's adjusting slowly, but you're taking it out of your perfectly heated or cooled house, whatever, and then throwing it out into this, and, even though it is comfortable, it's volatile to the plant because its whole life it's lived in a calm, between 65 and 75 degrees. Yeah. So, it's going to be difficult for it.
This is going to be either right on or right off. It's like the birthing of a baby, right? That baby's been in its mommy's belly for 9 months and they almost always do well when they come out, but it's an adjustment. So
it is an adjustment.
I decided to pull that one back
come out
because,
screaming.
I didn't want to get way weepy. So
yeah, don't do that. And so when I had a kid, it ruined me, and I got super emotional, and I will not go there today. Today's going to be a good day. Oh, so I'm going to start plucking away at that over these episodes. You can, you can try. I try to bury it. It's difficult, but so yeah. I think at this point too, if you're still around the 40s, you could squeeze in another cool other flower maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, I would probably say if you do absolutely direct sow.
Yeah.
Right. Cool weather, cool weather flower or cool weather veggie?
Right,
yeah.
Flower.
Flower?
No, flower.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. And also...
now we're just getting loopy.
I just want to make sure that I'm clear. This is 40 degrees at night, not daytime. Yeah. Okay. So let's be clear about that. So, but yeah, you guys, man, we have seen you on Instagram with your seeds. We have seen you growing them because you have been tagging us with hashtag BYG podcast. We have watched you. We are proud of you. And now is not the time to mess it up.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't get excited, okay?
We'll cool still love you, Turbo. And we won't say I told you so, but we're trying to tell you now. Yeah.
Leonard will, though. Leonard's itching to tell somebody, so he's on it. But, don't mess up what you've done. Don't, learn from our mistakes. So, we want you guys to be better than we are. Yeah. So, look here. We're running out of time because you had a laughing fit at the beginning of the show, so... Everybody,
see ya.
Have a good one.
Oh, not yet. See ya.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you want to see what we're up to or just stay up to date on all the announcements regarding the show or anything gardening, then you can follow us on Instagram at Backyard Gardens TV.
We love seeing what you guys are doing, so use hashtag BYG Podcast in your posts, and we'll be sharing your gardens with the Backyard Gardens community.
And check us out on YouTube at Backyard Gardens, where we will post this show, all of our other shows, clips, and then also some gardening tips and just gardening entertainment. And you can see us at our website at backyardgardenstv.com. But that's it for today's show. So help us as we learn to grow and grow for change. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later. We'll call this one a wrap.
Now you know why people feel like celebrating at harvest time.
All over the world, people have feasting and good times when the crops have been gathered in.